We move to South Asia now, where Prime Minister Narendra Modi reaffirmed India's commitment to a peaceful and democratic Bangladesh during discussions with Chief Advisor Mohammed Yunus, highlighting concerns over the safety and security of the country. At the 6th BIMSTEC summit in Bangkok, Prime Minister Narendra Modi unveiled a detailed 21-point action plan outlining a bold vision for collaboration across various sectors. The 6th BIMSTEC summit opened in Bangkok with the signing of key agreements, including the BIMSTEC Agreement on Maritime Transport Cooperation and 2 memorandums of understanding with the Indian Ocean Rim Association. BIMSTEC summit brings together leaders from Bangladesh, India, Myanmar, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Thailand and Bhutan. It is a crucial platform for fostering collaboration in areas such as connectivity, development and regional economic integration within the Bay of Bengal region. On the sidelines, Nepal's Prime Minister Oli held several bilateral meetings with Sri Lanka's Harini Amarasuri, Myanmar's Hai and Gay, focusing on change, investment and strengthening regional ties. Cited BIMSTEC's ongoing focus on regional cooperation in key sectors such as trade, security and climate change. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi is set to arrive in Colombo today for bilateral talks and to sign key agreements with Sri Lanka over the weekend. This visit will come after his participation in the BIMSTEC summit in Thailand. This is a first foreign leader visit to Sri Lanka since President Anura Kumara Dissanayaka's win last year. 8 memoranda of understandings are expected to be signed. Digital infrastructure, health and defence. Modi's visit aims to strengthen India-Sri Lanka relations and advance comprehensive joint statement issued after Dissanayaka's December 2024 visit to New Delhi. During his stay, Modi will meet opposition politicians, including Tamil representatives. One of the key issues discussed will be the fisheries conflict between Indian fishermen and Sri Lankan ones. There is also speculation about a possible defence pact to be signed. We have breaking news coming in now. US Secretary of State Marco Rubio has arrived in Brussels for the second day of the NATO Foreign Ministers meeting. Discussions are expected to focus on strengthening alliances, defence strategies and addressing global security challenges. We move back to Asia now, where the death toll from the earthquake that hit Myanmar nearly a week ago has risen to 3,145 as search and rescue teams find more bodies, say the military-led government in Myanmar. Humanitarian aid groups continue to scramble, providing survivors with medical aid and shelter. Information Minister Meng On also announced at a meeting in the capital, near Patau, that 4,589 people were injured and 221 others were missing. A report issued by the United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs estimated that the earthquake and aftershocks have affected more than 17 million people across 57 of the country's 330 townships, including more than 9 million who were severely affected. Meanwhile, the United Nations Rights Office has received reports that the military has carried out at least 53 attacks, including strikes by aircraft and drones, artillery and paramotors in areas affected by the earthquake. Over to the US now, where President Donald Trump has said that his administration is very close to a deal for TikTok, which faces a US ban if it's not sold by this weekend. Trump told reporters on Air Force One that the deal involves multiple investors, but didn't give details. TikTok, a popular app with over 170 million US users, must separate from its Chinese owner ByteDance or face a ban under a US law. The law cites national security concerns, believing TikTok could be controlled by the Chinese government. Trump is confident a buyer will be found in time and suggested the TikTok deal could be a part of a larger agreement with China to ease tariffs. He said China could improve the deal if the US makes a concession on tariffs.
We're very close to a deal with a very good group of people for TikTok.
Larry Ellison, or is it multiple investors? Just
Multiple.
US President Donald Trump extended his support to French far-right leader Marine Le Pen following her conviction for embezzling European Union funds. Le Pen, along with 24 members of her National Rally Party, were sentenced at a Paris court and imposed a 5-year ban from her running for office, blocking her potential candidacy in the 2027 presidential race unless the ruling is overturned on appeal. The court's decision has sparked backlash, with Le Pen and her supporters accusing the judges of undermining democracy. Meanwhile, French Prime Minister François Bayrou expressed strong support for the judiciary. In a post on Truth Social, Trump condemned the case against Le Pen, calling it a witch hunt, while praising her resilience. He compared her situation to his own legal battles, which have included charges related to a hush money payment, attempts to overturn the 2020 election results, and the retention of classified documents. Despite the conviction, Trump and Le Pen both argue their cases are politically motivated. Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen has called for increased Arctic defence cooperation with the United States during a visit. She firmly rejected the US idea of annexing the semi-autonomous Danish territory. It comes after months of tensions over President Trump's repeated comments about making Greenland part of the United States. At a press conference, she addressed the United States, stressing, "You cannot annex another country, even for security reasons." The US had recently acknowledged that Greenland's right to self-determination after a meeting between US Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Danish Foreign Minister Lars Løkke Rasmussen. Frederiksen also outlined Denmark's security commitments, including new Arctic ships and drones, and said Denmark is ready to work together with the US to strengthen Arctic security. Let's listen to what the Danish Prime Minister had to say.
Talking about security, then there is a lot that we and you can do. Denmark is now strengthening our own presence. New Arctic ships, long-range drones and satellite capacity. We uphold our commitments, and more is on its way. It has, by the way, always been a common task to safeguard security in the Arctic, so that small countries don't have to fear big ones. And so, this is not only about Greenland or Denmark. The world order that we have built together across the Atlantic over generations. You cannot annex another country, not even with an argument about international security.
Well, that's all we have time for. We will continue to